Hello, I'm Dr. Mark Besancon, and this is your pet tip of the month. October is a wonderful season with Halloween at the end of the month, and so there's a couple of things that I wanted to talk about and to take care of your pet with this holiday coming up. There's a lot of things that go on, a lot of decorations, food. There can be the darkness, the different scary things that can stress your pets, and so I just want to take a moment and talk about a few key points that may stress your pet, things you may want to do, want to look out for to protect your pet in this Halloween season. The first thing I want to talk about is treats. Uh, Best to stay away from treats, especially chocolate. Chocolate is very toxic to cats and dogs. At high levels, the dark chocolate is worse than milk chocolate, but chocolate in general is not good for your pet, so definitely want to stay away from chocolate. Artificial sweeteners, xylitol is not good for your pet as well. Any of the artificial sweeteners that contain xylitol is not good and can cause problems with your pet. And as not only the food, but actually what's in them, or what's wrapped around them. Foil wrappers, cellophane, all of that. Maybe not be much of a toxic, but more of a get caught in their throat, can cause blockages, things like that. So it'd just be best to avoid the food in general. It just would cause GI upset if nothing else, and so want to avoid that for sure. Decorations. A lot of people like to put out decorations, scary things, lights. Lights, you have to really watch the cords. Dogs, cats for that matter, like to chew on the cords. They can get tangled in them, choke themselves, things like that. Just be really careful whenever you're putting up lights to make sure that your pets do not have access to them. One, so they don't chew them. Two, so they don't get wrapped in them and choke themselves. Candles. Candles in your jack-o'-lanterns or your pumpkins, really have to watch those. Dogs and cats can go and either tump them over or potentially burn themselves just from the fire, the flames, things like that. Just keep an eye out whenever you're putting out your decorations to make sure that they're in a safe place for your pets. Just keep the pets in the back of your mind whenever you're decorating your house or even outside. Costumes. A lot of people like to put costumes on their pets, take them out with them to go trick-or-treating. Need to be really careful. If you're gonna put a costume on your pet, definitely make sure that the costume does not irritate your pet, your pet doesn't get stressed out from the costume causing a lot of problems. A couple of things that you want to think about is make sure it doesn't confine your pet, make sure he has plenty of mobility, able to walk, run, anything that he needs to do to, one, get out of the way of cars if you're taking him trick-or-treating or certain things like that. Also, allow them to make sure that the costume allows them to breathe, to see, to hear, and to be able to bark or meow, depending if they're a cat or a dog. These guys need to be able to express themselves. In case they get in a bind, they need to be able to let you know what's going on. And so, able to breathe, obviously, they need to be able to breathe to live. And so, definitely make sure that nothing's too tight, nothing's obstructing their airway. Just really watch them and make sure that these costumes don't impede them in any way. Small dangling objects, if there's big capes, anything like that, that can cause the dog or cat to get scared, or if there's something that they may chew on, swallow. You don't want to have a foreign object swallowed and then have to go to your veterinarian for care to remove some kind of decoration that was on a costume that they might have had on. The best thing to do is to keep your pets inside. Especially with all the kids running around and all the noise, the different scary things that are going on, this can really make these guys very irritable. They can be stressed out really easily. So the best thing to do is keep them inside. Another thing you need to watch for is doors that are open frequently outside. The trick-or-treaters come by and you're opening the front door. Make sure that your pets are definitely protected and then not going to get out and escape. We don't want those to escape. Another concern is black cats in general. A lot of pranksters like to go after black cats, so make sure if you have a black cat, definitely keep it inside, don't let it out. A lot of people with Halloween like to pull pranks on black cats, and so definitely keep a close watch on those guys. Just some safety measures in general. as like I was talking about keeping these guys inside, you may want to do is put them in a back room somewhere, put on some soft music to try to drown out some of the outside noises. That helps quite a bit, keeps these guys a little bit calmer, and so they don't get as stressed or anxious or frightened as much. Another thing is you need to have proper ID for your pets, cats and dogs, especially if they're prone to getting away. There's going to be a lot of people out on the streets. You definitely want to make sure that if your pet gets out, gets lost, that they have proper identification. Collars, with or without tags on them, any kind of ID on that would help a lot. Also, anything reflective, especially if the costumes, make sure that they're reflective so cars can see them. You may want to have a reflective collar as well, and so that would help as well. Microchipping. Microchipping is a chip that's placed under the skin, has a specific number that goes with your pet, and if your pet is found, then that chip can be registered back to your name and will help identify your pet and hopefully get it back to you as an owner. And so microchipping would be another thing that local shelters, veterinarians can do, and it varies in price and is very cheap and inexpensive for the protection that it will give your pet if it gets lost, so that you can potentially find your pet. Many of those local shelters and veterinary clinics have scanners and can scan a lost pet to track it back to you. And so just be careful in this Halloween season. It's a great season, but really keep an eye on your pets. Make sure that they're safe and that we don't have any problems, and have a safe time. Thanks.